Hi everybody. Today I'm going to share a book with you. I'll show you the cover first. What do you think this book might be about? The first thing I see is a cow. Then I see a pig and a duck. I know these animals live on farms, and then I noticed this word here. Farm. I think this book must be about a farm. This is called Mrs. Wishy Washy's Farm, written by Joy Cowley. I think this must be Mrs. Wishy Washy. Before we begin, I have a question for you. Do you think that this is a fiction or a non-fiction book? Yesterday, when we were reading about sheep, there were photographs in the book, and we decided that it was a non-fiction because it was full of facts about sheep. Why don't you make a prediction now? Do you think this will be fiction? Is this a made-up story? Or is this a true story? A story about real cows, real pigs, and real ducks. When we finish reading the story, I'll ask you the question again. So this is called Mrs. Wishy Washy's Farm. This is Mrs. Wishy Washy, and this is her farm. Here is her house and her truck and her barn. So her house, her truck, and her barn. Here is the barn. Here by the barn is an old tin tub where all of the animals go for a scrub. Wishy washy, wishy washy. Moo, the cow cries. I hate this old tub. I've got soap in my eyes. Wishy washy, wishy washy. Eee! The pig squeals. I have been scrubbed from my nose to my heels. Wishy washy, wishy washy. Quack, the duck moans. I've got suds in my feathers and aches in my bones. The scrubbing is over, the tub goes away. No more washing, the animals say. Moo, moo, ee, ee, quack, quack, quack. Goodbye, Mrs. Wishy Washy, mean old Mrs. Wishy Washy. We are leaving you and we won't be back. Fast down the highway they run side by side. Where will they go? Where will they hide? Eee! The city, squeals the old pig. We'll go to the city where the barns are big. What do you think about that? Do we have big barns in the city? Maybe the pig is looking here and thinking that these buildings are barns. But the city is just as wild as a farm stampede. There is nowhere to rest and nowhere to feed. The three hungry animals walk into a barn. There is food on the dishes, but it's not like the farm. Where do you think they're going into right now? I noticed there's an awning, a scalloped awning. I notice it says menu on the wall. I notice it looks like they have glasses. I think they might be going into a restaurant. Do cows and pigs and ducks eat in restaurants? The cow looks around with an anxious face. I think we might be in the wrong eating place. Along comes the cook, and with an angry shout, "You'll be roast on toast if you don't get out." By the expressions on their faces, how do you think the cow, the pig, and the duck are feeling right now? They run for their lives to the barn next door and find themselves in a hardware store. Oops. A hardware store is somewhere where you can buy paint. You can see in this picture paint brushes, shovels, tools, and different materials you might need for building or fixing your house or your home. Then the van pulls up in 2 shakes of a tail, so very, very quickly. It's the pickup van from the animal jail. They're taken away. Oh, what bad luck for the cow and the pig and the poor old duck. They sit in a huddle, hungry and pale, in the cold, muddy cage of the animal jail. Then the unhappy cow and the pig and the duck hear the chug, chug, chug of the old farm truck. What do you think is about to happen? The chug, chug, chug of the old farm truck. They moo and they squeal and they quack and they cheer. Oh, it's dear Miss Wishy Washy. She is here. Far from the city and back on the farm, the animals run to the old red barn. Now Mrs. Wishy Washy fills up the tub. Come on, you 3, you need a good scrub. Oh, bliss, says the cow, and she jumps right in. Oh, bliss, says the pig with a happy grin. Oh, bliss, says the duck, splashing in with the rest. There's no doubt about it, home is best. Wishy washy, wishy washy. And that's the end of the story. So, my friends, that's the end of the story. And I'm going to ask you my question again. Do you think that this is a non-fiction story, a real story about a cow, a pig, and a duck? Or do you think this is a made-up story, a fictional story? I think it was a fictional story. I think this was a made-up story. I hope you enjoyed it. It's kind of a fun one. And it made me think about how I have always wanted to have a farm because Mrs. Wishy Washy, I really loved this particular picture. Mrs. Wishy Washy has such a cool farm. She has cows, she has a horse, she has chickens and sheep and a goat, cats, a pig, a duck, a dog, a tractor, all kinds of things that I think are great to notice about a farm. So I've decided that I was going to draw my own farm, Ms. Hexamer's farm. So my friends, you can see underneath I've written, well, right on the front of my barn I wrote Ms. Hexamer's farm. If you wanted to do this activity, well, you could say, your name, your farm. That would be cool. Underneath, I wrote 2 sentences. I wrote, "This is my farm." And then I wrote, "I have a pig, a horse, and a sheep." But if writing a sentence was too difficult for me, I decided I would actually just start by labeling. So as you can see, if I go a little bit closer here, I have an arrow pointing to my barn. I've written B-A-R-N, barn. I have an arrow here pointing to the silo that is attached to my barn. A silo is the structure on a farm that holds the hay, and you can see inside it's yellow and it has hay labeled there. Then I decided I would label the animals that I have on my farm, like my horse, my sheep, and my pig. So my friends, I would love to see your farm, your imaginary farm. What kind of animals would you have on your farm? There's lots of animals I didn't include that I would have liked to, like ducks or chickens, a cat, a dog, a goat, all kinds of things that I could have included. So I'll be interested to see which animals you choose to have on your farm. Bye for now. Thanks for watching.